Let me write a little note. Hold on.
Oh, hey, I got a notification that the podcast is live, guys. You should go check it out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been on that. It's kind of overrated.
It's fair.
Nicole, are you still in my house?
No, I just unloaded every egg that I had.
That's
Has anybody seen Wes's Animal Pen recently? It's one of the most hilarious
you should
things
turn
I've
around
ever
and
seen in
look
my
at the
life.
house.
You are not a good person.
What?
Do you have my horse?
No,
Play with Minecraft Fire.
that is not your horse. That is not
my
your
God.
horse.
Is that Meow Meow Beans? I will
Nope.
murder somebody.
It is
No,
not.
we
There's a
found
lot
that
of
horse
it.
last night.
I found that
Okay.
horse and drug him across a swamp with a donkey in tow, mind you, all the way to
So
that pit.
George, does it still say Meow Meow Beans? Did George not kill it?
He did not kill it.
I don't know.
I have knowledge that he did not, but I did not tell
What
you.
happens if I put the horse in the lava?
Oh,
You better
Josh.
You
What
get
about the
glue.
purple stuff?
You get glue.
So, how about some Sunny D, right? Yeah.
He has Meow Meow Beans. Josh.
Can the horse go in the purple stuff?
Where?
Would you like your horse back?
Go. Everything is going on. I'm so happy and angry at the same time that he's not
The
dead.
horse swim? Oh, the horse can't swim. Horse can't swim. Horse can't swim.
Are you really taking my horse? Better not.
I'm riding the horse.
Better not.
Someone didn't shut the gate behind him.
Hey, no. You just hit your horse.
Josh, don't take the horse in the water. It's not how you play water polo.
Whoa. I think I'm on fire.
You are. It's weird how that works.
I'm on fire. Oh, you're very good at this game.
Yeah. So sucks. I have an enchanted a sword that sets things on fire.
Oh, lovely.
Well, that's not fair. I have a house full of chickens, apparently. So there.
Well, guys, this has been fun.
All right, fine. I'll pay attention.
Okay, yeah. This doesn't have to be in Minecraft.
Donovan keeps dropping. It's not good. Maybe we should just get him to call in, like a radio show style. One second, I'm almost ready.
There he is. Connection's better this time. But we can't hear you. This is like the first 20 minutes of, every week podcast anyways.
Love it.
Seth, you still there?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay.
Don't want to use your camera, huh?
I don't have a camera. I'm at
Oh,
fancy.
well then.
Yeah, I had to pull up an old not old, but a laptop just for the camera.
I have my work computer out in the garage, but yeah,
Donovan, it says
it's
you're
too far
muted.
away.
Fair.
Yeah, I couldn't hear what you said.
Okay.
There. Actually looks like I know what I'm doing.
This is a real glimpse inside right here, people.
Yeah, you guys see
Wes
that?
Yeah.
types away on his computer. Sean and I stare awkwardly into nothing, and Donovan roots around frantically trying to do stuff. Real life.
Turi, your cat.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm good then. Well,
Gotta get the tea situation
I
sorted
thought
out.
he was gonna just drink it right out of the jug.
I mean, I'm trying to be civil for you guys. No one else drinks this stuff in my house, so I'm not gonna say that doesn't have it.
Well, Wes, when I become your neighbor soon enough, I will drink it for you.
Remind me to
don't tease
pour
me.
it next time I.
You guys are liars.
Are you moving?
We would love to.
Is Wisconsin that bad?
It's not great. I mean, it's cold.
It's
And
freezing
sucks.
cold, but I'm not moving there. It's too cold.
Yeah, it just kind of sucks. If we could pick up our house and take it with, that'd be the most ideal, but that's impossible.
Mm.
So,
Oh, you just lack dedication.
I like this house, but I don't like it that much.
Fair enough.
Donovan.
We're so
Yep.
close.
It's par for the course here, folks.
And he's gone.
Man, squeezing in and out. Donovan, I'm assuming that the mute button on your actual screen is unchecked.
I think he said, "What do you think I am, an idiot?" That's very close, Wes. How did you know? He said.
He said,
Playing charades here. It's always great for an audio podcast.
3
"This
words.
could be fun. We could just one for one everything Donovan's trying to say."
First syllable sounds like.
It's a movie.
Now he's realizing he really is muted.
He would like to speak. He's raising his hand.
Sorry, the teacher doesn't recognize you.
Well, okay. In all seriousness, if you can't get the video working, you can actually call. And there's a phone number you can actually call in.
Oh, call it into what we're doing?
Yeah.
Not like call the helpline?
You can literally
Oh.
call in the helpline, which is 1-800-MAKING-GEEKS. Yeah. Hey, Clint.
Clint,
I see
you're
you.
muted.
Can't hear
And
you.
you're muted too.
Everyone starts out muted. And
Hey, Wes, I appreciate you putting this on.
I like it.
But it sounds like there's a but on there.
No,
Oh, okay.
it's whenever we all get together and do something new. Everybody's like, "This thing is broken. This thing sucks. Nothing works. This is wrong." And Wes all put it on. And he didn't invent whatever this jitsi.org is, but he did it and I didn't. So I appreciate you, even though everything is breaking.
I mean, no one else seems to have problems.
Yeah.
Donovan.
He went, that was the sound he made.
Well,
with
the
his
funny
eyes.
thing is that he manages to fix it every week, but not identify what constantly causes the problem.
That's true. After about 10 minutes, he's like, "Oh, hey, is this better?" We're like, "Yes, that's perfect." Oh,
He's
okay.
supposed to be in IT, right?
Ouch.
Yikes.
Wah wah.
Is Clinton frozen?
It says it can't find my mic, he says.
Clint is also a classic. Nothing ever gets to work right for him.
Hmm.
Everything always finds a way to break.
In all seriousness, you can like call on your phone while you're sitting there with your video, and it would act just the same.
He's really determined.
Donovan, drop out and come back in one more time.
So you can talk smack about him when he's not here.
Yeah, quick, change the website.
Redirect it, yeah.
Everybody jump on Zoom. I've been on 4 different Zoom calls today. Feels like.
Yeah, I was on one earlier with my team at work, and there was like 15 of us on one call. It was
Mhm.
madness.
You seen all the fun videos that people are posting of mishaps with Zoom right now?
I posted a story today of our neighborhood, or like Milwaukee County does like the newscast every day of the mayor and all of his like people from home. And watching these people try to figure out online messaging is just too good. Baby?
I did hear about one where a lady took her laptop into the bathroom with her while she was on a Zoom
On the
call.
call.
Yeah.
I think there was a college stream and some guy was nude in front of the camera or something. So there was that
Classic.
mishap.
Yeah, I heard that one.
It's probably why my district just banned it, from teachers using it with the students, because we don't need any of that crap.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters what platform you use. People will still find a way to use it for nudity. So I don't think that really matters.
Sean,
Probably
how
true.
is the being a teacher from home going so far? Like,
Wait,
how's that working for
Do
you
we want
guys?
to start the podcast? Because
Yeah, might as well. I think it's.
Oh, okay.
we'll save that question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Donovan can't talk.
I know you can't, but we're trying to like save the good talk for when we can talk. Call on your phone. There's literally a number. Go to the website on your phone. It'll give you the phone number, and I tried it already. It works.
Hey, we got both sides
What's up,
of the
Terry?
attic up here now.
Yeah, I know. That's some dedication there.
Like
There you go.
Raise your hand. Let's see if it's like in sync. I'm at him.
Oh,
I can't see you in the camera in his camera.
sorry. Raise your hand.
What?
Raise your hand.
Yeah, that's pretty
Pretty
good.
Not
good.
bad. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
We have
Response time's
gigabit internet here, guys.
Ooh, we have gigabit
And you want to leave?
We have it here
I
in
thought that-
Cary as well. So come on.
I was gonna say I thought that's why you wanted to go to Cary. Where was this?
Yeah.
I just assumed.
Unfortunately, not all of Cary has it, which is annoying. But my neighborhood does.
One of my neighbors does, is the Verizon gigabit. He was like selected as like a tester or something like that. He lives like, I don't know, half a block from me, and
Yeah.
so I only have like 100 up, 100 down. And he's got gigabit. It's ridiculous.
You could probably run like a really long Cat5 cable and still get like a better increase in speed.
Yeah.
I was thinking how much could 1,000 feet of fiber optic cable cost?
A lot.
Probably, but would it be worth it to just give him half his internet bill or whatever? And turn
I
mine
remember when I
off.
was in the Army, I could have got a fiber optic certification. I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't want that. I'll never need that.
Well,
I mean, not that I need it. It would have been cool though.
Still can't hear you, Donovan.
Just call us. We're waiting
yeah,
on
just
you.
call in, Donovan. I know, it does say he's muted. I don't know why it's not, like, actually working.
I hear somebody coming in. Don't know
up,
who
Clint?
that was.
Hey, what's up, Clint?
Oh.
Oh, he is muted. Okay. At one point, he wasn't. Okay. What is that?
Is there other people?
Hey, Tiff.
Papa says hi. Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Hi.
There's Nicole. That's Wes. That's Corey.
I'm Wes. Hey,
That's
nice to meet
Tori.
you.
That's her husband. They're sitting across from each other, but they're a bunch of awesome nerds, and so they have their own computer set up. And there's Clint.
Yes.
And there's Donovan, who can't talk to anybody.
Why can't Donovan talk to anybody?
Who knows why Donovan can't talk to anybody? Because it's Thursday at 9 o'clock. And there's a vortex in Oklahoma that doesn't allow microphones to work. At precisely this moment.
Is that why you're not recording?
We're doing something different today.
Good night.
Thank you guys. Bye, Wes. And all the other ones I know.
You say goodnight?
Oh, good night.
I got singled out. Yeah.
You going to bed?
I might go read.
You're important, Wes.
All right.
Yeah.
Love you.
All right. Thank you.
I'm gonna solve this Rubik's cube. Well, I plan on having fun.
I was wondering what that clicky sound was. Now that makes sense. I thought someone was like eating
He's
like
down here.
Chex
Hey,
Mix
Donovan.
or something.
Down here
Check your
clicking
Chrome
the clip.
settings under privacy and security. Make sure that you've given permission for Chrome to access your microphone.
I know how to do it on a Mac, or I would walk you through because I had to do it the other day for the go to meeting thing I had to do.
If you're in Chrome, 3 dots, upper right-hand corner, click on Settings. Click on Privacy and Security. And then click on where it says Site Settings. And there should be some settings for microphone and camera in that list. That's the only thing I could probably walk you through at the moment without seeing your screen.
Terry, your camera's all blurred.
Oh, it does that.
Cool. No autofocus. Yay.
It's a new filter.
It makes
Wes,
him
what
look
are you-
that much
what are you
cooler.
working on?
So these are the Prusa face shield pieces.
Oh, okay.
I just started today and I've got like a good number. I just only have one printer going right now. I
Yeah.
ordered filament for my actual Prusa. I didn't have any that fit it from PETG, so
I'll just put your.
I had to get,
PTG is not easy to come by now because of all this.
it is not. Matter Hackers had it luckily when I ordered it. I think they might be out now. And Amazon refuses to ship it within a timely manner because they're not prioritizing that as
Yep.
essential.
Yeah, we ordered
Yeah.
some for the 4 of us, and ours isn't getting here till April something.
Yep.
Yeah, mine. I just ordered filament and it says April 23rd.
That'd be a good point of discussion if you guys want to officially start, and then hopefully Donovan can kind of troubleshoot along the way.
And seriously, call if you want to talk.
We'll deal with the sound
He's
quality.
refusing to call because he doesn't want to give up. Good job.
You
Brad.
had that memorized.
I'm gonna create
I
a.
was thinking about doing an Instagram live to like walk people through solving a Rubik's cube.
I'm gonna make
I
a
would watch
soundboard
that.
for each one of you, so whenever one of us doesn't appear, we'll have like a pseudo substitute. Because I did that
A
once
what?
for you. A soundboard. I did that once for you, Josh,
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
sure did.
and that was hilarious.
Yeah, well, that was good. That was a hoot.
You liked it.
It was funny. It made me laugh.
All right, I'm ready when you guys are.
So how do you want to do this? Want to just do the normal like quick intro and everybody kind of like roll call who's here, or
Yeah, who you are, and if you have a channel thing. If not, then just say. You can say whatever you want, or you can
Alright.
say nothing at all. It's fine.
What's up, Internet? It is once again time for the Making Geeks podcast for makers, dads, and geeks. This is episode 177, and we have a pretty cool episode here for you this week because we're doing a live hangout with a bunch of our listeners. And I don't know, let's see who's here. So I'm here. We got Josh,
I'm here.
Wes,
Hello.
and I guess everybody else can kind of take turns saying who they are and their channel.
I'm Corey.
I'm Nicole with When Geeks Craft, and Turi is back there. He's also from When Geeks Craft.
Donovan's here working on his microphone.
He's gonna get it. He's so determined. We're all gonna clap. Oh, he went away. Never mind. He ran off. I thought I was praising his valiant effort, but
We also have Clint from C3D Prop Shop in there as well.
And I'm Seth, and I don't have anything special.
What's up, not special?
I
Seth?
beg to differ.
Just Instagram.
those are our 2 previous reigning
Yep.
Patreon
Oh.
reward
Alumni.
captains.
Yep. That's true.
So how you
Good
guys
for you.
doing?
Hang out at a bar in a hotel, and you lose your seat.
So how's everybody doing? This is almost like week 2 or end of week 2?
This is week 3 for me. and
Depending
it's
upon how you're
going
counting.
great.
Yeah.
I think my mic's been off this whole time.
It
It has.
has.
Yep, it
There
has.
you are. There's Clint.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Hello. I can't see anybody's pictures, but I'm gonna blame that on my phone. So.
That works.
Yeah, it was.
Are we blaming
I've-
Donovan's mic not working on your phone too? Is that what's happening?
I'll take it.
What have you guys been up to? Josh?
I have no idea what day it is.
Preach.
Preach it.
Um,
Where's my hanky?
we had a video come out today, so I'm pretty sure it's Thursday.
Yep.
But then next week, all that's getting thrown off because we're doing different stuff. But yeah, a very interesting thing about putting out. We did a Between the Builds video of all the behind the scenes stuff when we went to Chicago to hang out with Rob Scallon and deliver that cool guitar.
That video was awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Anthony edited that. He does a fantastic job at those videos. But a real fun thing right now in the world, I'm not sure if you guys know about this. There's a social distancing thing happening where we're not supposed to be around other people.
Really?
Are you aware of this?
No.
Right.
Actually, no, because we're not doing anything here different at all.
Well, when you put out a video, pretty much a travel vlog where we hang out with people and go to the store and touch a whole bunch of stuff, people freak out because that's not the way you do things now. The whole world is different. It was like, well, this was shot in February. Please calm down. You're not going to die. We're not going to die. So that was fun. It was a fun video and a very in the now response. Overall, the response has been really good, but like those points about like how dare you guys should be at your house. We're like, we are at our house. I'm answering you from like my sequestered tiny secret office where no one else knows where I am. Like I'm quarantined. Believe me.
And they're saying this with like no sense of humor or sarcasm, right?
It doesn't seem like it. But I know we were speaking amongst each other. We're like, you remember when you could just go to a store and touch stuff?
You remember when you
That
could
was
lick?
nice.
Remember when you could lick your neighbor's mail and not get them upset at you?
I miss
do.
licking doorknobs, guys. I really do.
Yeah,
Hey, as long as
cream.
it's your own doorknob.
the good old days. Sean, what have you been up to, sir? You've been grading papers? Digital paper? It's not even papers. You can't call them papers anymore.
Grading
I don't-
bits?
I'm mainly looking for interaction or people even checking in and seeing what I'm posting. I've been live streaming almost every day for 2 weeks now, posting lessons, trying to be positive, stay in contact. Part of it is like just general concern for, students' well-being and trying to pretend like I have a whole audience out there listening and caring about their learning, which most of them do, but then there's like a small portion of them I think I've already kind of checked out for the year. I'll probably know a little bit more tomorrow of how the rest of the year is going to go. I have an admin meeting tomorrow, and that's really about it. Because the computer science class that I teach hasn't really changed that much because a lot of it's it's all done on the computer anyways. It's just now that they're able to follow along with the lessons and hopefully still make a little bit of progress. Although I'm not pushing as fast as I normally would. The animation class is the really awkward one because 90% of my students don't have access to a computer that's good enough to run any animation software. So I'm giving general drawing assignments and having them try to take a picture and post online, which is working, but there's not a whole lot of progress to be had there. So it's mainly an attempt to make sure they're not losing the skill or progress they've made so far. That's how it's been going.
And how is this gonna like work against the kids overall? Like, are they gonna? Is this year basically a wash for most of your students? And the curriculum, at least.
Maybe in some of the classes, but luckily enough, this comes at a point in the year where we might only be, well, from my point of view, we might only be losing like 2 real weeks of actual progress. And that's usually because right after spring break, it's usually like testing season with AP testing, SAT testing, and then state testing.
Mhm.
So there isn't a whole lot of new content that's getting introduced anyways. So I don't think there's as much lost as what a lot of other people might think. At
Okay.
least on the high school level. Elementary school and junior high, they're different. I can't really speak for them.
Mhm.
On the high school level, I don't think it's as bad, but I know the seniors are kind of beside themselves. But the colleges that have already accepted students and are going to be looking at applications are going to have to take all this into account,
Right.
which means that most of their acceptances are going to all have to be based off of first semester grades.
Yeah.
Which may not be very good for some of them, but I mean, that's kind of on them.
My academic prowess, while it was very good, was based on the law of averages. Like, I knew at the end of all of that where I could end up. And so if you cut that in half, I'm like, ooh, my academic career may have turned out a little different.
I was one of those students that was over prepared for everything, so I was like already accepted to school before my senior year, and my senior year didn't matter.
Wow.
I took mostly study halls, so I feel for these kids because it sucks, but hopefully they were prepared.
I just had an idea for a future episode. We should, at least the four of us, we should all take the SATs right now.
That's a wonderful
Or the
idea.
ACT, and see how we do.
I would
I
do
got
pretty
it.
good, except for math.
I got a 21, a 20, and then a 19 3 times in a row. Went down each time.
I've never taken it.
I fell asleep during my SAT and still scored 1,200.
We didn't have to do SAT, so I have no idea what the normal score is.
Yeah, we should take the ACT.
And the ASVAB for good measure.
You guys should take the ASVAB.
That one.
I passed that too.
I have no idea what an ASFAB is.
So the ASVAB,
I don't know what an ASVAB is either.
is the Armed Service Vocational Aptitude and Battery Test.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's an army thing. Got it.
So it is
Military.
It's all branches.
Except now they've expanded it just for all students to take, regardless of the military, to show you what your strengths are, and that's their new marketing ploy for it.
Mm.
So the sample question on the very first section is, which one of these things is a living thing? A rock, the moon, a tree, or a shoe? And then you get to take the test. How many sides does a square have? I remember that one.
Yeah.
Is this a real test?
Yeah.
It is.
There's some about like cranking wrenches too. Like if you turn
Yeah,
this
there is-
nut a certain direction.
There's a lot of
yeah.
gears and things.
Mhm.
It
There's
has
a
it has
mechanical
many
aptitude.
different. Yeah, it has many different areas, and depending on how you score in each one of those areas, you are either fit for certain jobs or you are not. And
Yeah.
if you score over a certain score, then you can just like, yeah, you can have whatever job you want because you're obviously not
Yep.
a complete moron. Or if you don't do really well, they're like, oh man, you should totally be a cook.
You're
Or
awesome
you
at
should totally
painting
be
ships.
a truck driver.
Isn't
was
the
a-
cook like the worst job?
Painting a
I was-
ship when you dangle over the side is pretty bad.
I was supposed to go into the Navy as an electrical engineer, but got disqualified because of my foot. But I'd passed everything else to get in.
What's wrong with your
Yeah,
foot?
I got like high 80s, and then decided it'd be a good idea to go blow stuff up. So
I went for one job. I went, this is the only job that I'm willing to do. And they go, okay, you can have that. I'm like, we can continue this conversation. And they go, well, if you fail out of that, you have to be a truck driver. No, I will not fail.
yeah,
we should
I
take
think
the ASVAB and the ACT. That's a fine idea.
Yeah, I took the ASVAB and scored in the high. I forget what the actual number was. It was in the high 90s, and I got elected to take a separate test to join like the Navy nuclear program, where you actually go like on a sub.
I had that option too. Yeah.
And I took it, and calculus-y stuff has never been my strongest suit. So I'm actually fortunate I didn't pass that because I think that would have been a completely different experience, and I think I would have hated it.
Yep.
And I'm glad I went with my original choice, which was like aviation electronics, which turned out being a benefit in ways I could not have anticipated. So
Submarines. I went on a submarine a couple times, and it was like a big boomer sub, and they had some of those nuke guys. And actually,
they're
a lot of
special
them
class.
are D&D fanatics.
Yeah, they're special
No,
class.
a lot of them are like they're D&D people because they don't go to like all the a lady in every port kind of like port call kind of thing. They're under the water for like months at a time, super bored. And so a lot of them, I remember this one guy showed me his like D&D and a couple other board games they all had set up on the boat.
Yeah, I
They were
have
all pretty happy.
3 different character sheets over here.
I mean, you also have to wear sneakers when running around in there too, so it's kind of a different experience.
How about everybody else? We haven't really heard from everybody yet for how they've been doing the last 2 weeks.
Well, so I've been 3D printing some stuff. Joseph Prusa designed a face shield component that can be like a DIY version that a lot of different organizations have been collecting across the world, and there's a group called Operation Shields Up, which is founded by some 3D printing members of the community out in California, but they're also like an example of what you can do in different regionalities to sort of impact your local hospitals and stuff. So they're collecting. All you have to do is just send in the visor components, the 3D printed components, and they have like the clear face shield part already lasered, and they're doing all the disinfectant stuff. They have CDC guidelines that they're following, and all the stuff they take in, they're treating it as if it's like COVID exposed. So they're doing the whole rinsing process and everything, and then disseminating them out. They've been approved in that area, somewhere in California. So it's got Operation Shields Up, and there's also Matter Hackers has a thing where you can sign up and say what kind of printers you have, and they'll try to match you with people and other organizations that are local to your community that have a need that you can fit. So I'm interested to see where that goes as well. So it's cool to have like a rallying kind of cry to get behind. Usually I usually don't participate in a lot of those things like I should do in the past, but this one I feel like I have a vested interest in, and I actually know something about this, so I'm going to give it a shot. And I also had a ton of PETG filament in a bin that I really don't use that much, and it's a good excuse to use it. So I've printed, just today I've printed about 10 of them, and I should get a shipment for my second printer. And I think George, who just joined, who's also in the local maker group with me, the Triangle Area Makers, we're going to try to rally our local troops and see how many people we can get sending printed stuff out. So it's a good use of our time, I think, at this point.
That's really cool.
Who's next?
Corey, what have you been doing? There you go.
You're muted.
Yeah, am I up? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
I've just I am actually, I'm still working. I'm considered essential. I repair medical equipment actually in laboratories. So we are deemed by the hospital in all the states that we have to have travel access and travel privileges and things like that. So we actually just got from my boss this morning or late last night, I think, documentation like from our lawyers to actually like official documents like, hey, I am allowed to travel. It's companies based out of Ohio. I'm in Virginia, but in Ohio they have shelter-in-place laws in place right now, so they're actually not allowed to travel for the most part out there. So anyways, but we're super slow right now, so I've not actually had any appointments or any jobs for the last week. So I've been sitting at home playing Minecraft and trying to not go crazy. Trying to do some spring cleaning stuff and be a little more proactive about making my house better and everything like that. But I end up going a little stir crazy doing stuff like that. So yeah, I had just did a little plumbing repair in the bathroom the other day, and when I finished it up, didn't have any leaks, went downstairs, ate dinner, came back upstairs to the sound of water hitting the floor, and was like, oh no. There was like an inch of water in my bathroom. It's like, this is terrible. Like, so now all of my towels are wet. But so not a whole lot very interesting going on, I guess, other than almost flooding my home.
No big deal.
Right?
Yeah, we've also been deemed essential at my work. I do custom furniture for nursing homes, but we've basically switched to front lines, like sending materials to nursing homes, like masks and gloves and other PPE things. My team has completely switched to doing that. So I'm basically just sending bulk shipments of whatever I can find at a warehouse to send to these nursing homes to make sure they have all the materials they need. So work's actually been pretty crazy this week.
Wow.
But other than that, we got a sword coming out. We finished a Zelda sword this week.
It looks
And
amazing.
it is awesome.
It is awesome. And what channel can people find your stuff at to look at it?
When Geeks Craft.
Sweet.
Which sword?
The Thunderblade.
Nice.
It lights up and it makes electric noises and everything.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
It is really awesome. That was really great to see.
Yeah.
I remember I showed Anthony, the cameraman, I like to make stuff, and he's a huge Zelda fan. And he immediately fell in love with everything you guys were doing.
I love Anthony. He's perfect. He's so funny. He talks to us a lot now.
He's a chatty guy. He's good people.
Seth, what have you been up to?
What else? There you go.
Yeah, I'm essential too, apparently. I work in the pharmaceuticals. I do calibration and maintenance on the laboratory equipment. So, Cora, we're going to have to talk later. But
yeah, absolutely.
So apparently they keep making drugs. So keeping me busy, but most people still there. They sent managers and a few other people that could work remotely home, but not me. But the wife's at home. She's got the kids. She's doing the whole homeschool stuff with them. So she's normally an art teacher, part-time art teacher. So at the school that they go to. So she's home anyways. So that makes it a little bit easier. But for me, basically keeping on.
Yeah.
So, but making wise and whatnot, I've been working on my shop. I've been remodeling. Finally got a miter saw station basically done. So
cool.
Since I got that done, and then I got a new table saw since my motor died, and I decided to buy new motors more than I spent on the saw originally. I might as well buy something a little bit newer and up to date. So I don't have much excuse now not to start working on something that the wife wants. So it's her turn.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it.
Or show the wife how to make it. That's even better.
Sometimes. She can paint it. She's the art teacher. She'll paint it when she's done.
There you go. Division of labor. Yep.
Yeah.
We have almost the same division labor here. Painting is my least favorite activity. It's not my thing. I'm terrible at it. I can't get a smooth surface to save my life. And so I build stuff, and she's like, great. And she does all of the painting and a lot of the finishing work. But the division of labor is great.
And what is your name and where are you from?
Oh, yeah, I'm George, and I live in North Carolina, near West. Yep.
And your channel is?
Technically woodworking.
There you go. He missed the intro part. He wasn't here. I'm like, hey, dude. I sent him a text. I'm like, hey, come and join our podcast meetup. All right, cool.
It's kind of nice seeing faces for all the digital avatars I've been seeing.
Yeah.
Whether it's names in a chat or digital characters in Minecraft now. So it's nice to officially meet everybody because I didn't know who everybody was.
Yeah, we didn't get to see you at work.
Orbeez in the
I hope that
Minecraft
you,
server.
come next year.
Yeah.
What was that,
So
Josh?
you mentioned the Minecraft server. I'm not to skip ahead to the topic. Which Wes, do you want to go ahead and throw in the topic?
Good. You're good. We can come back around.
I'm gonna have to bail out before you guys hit the topic. I gotta put the boy to bed. I'll
All
catch
right, buddy.
you later.
It's one of the pillars. Got to be a dad.
Hasta luego.
See you, man.
Yeah.
Donovan is here. Donovan's mic still does not work. So I want to try something really quick. Donovan, we're gonna try to guess what you're saying. So give us a sentence at a time, and then we'll all try to collectively figure out what you just said. just by looking at you. This is really good podcasting
I'm
That's
so
good.
excited. I'm in for this.
in real time. Show hired. The fish out not working.
I'm so sorry. So tired of this not working.
No, it's fish.
Oh,
You could always just call in. Just
he
Claims
tried.
he tried that.
No,
He
he
tried.
says. So what have you been doing, Donovan?
he's been working at a
Doing
Star
my
Wars
dumb
table where
working,
he is
working.
building a TIE fighter, I think,
During lunch.
during lunch.
Yes,
That's
very
You're
much.
welcome.
Yes, very much. Yes. That's my Donovan voice. Yep.
I hate you, Josh.
I have no more Kool-Aid in my house. But last week, no more. All gone. I don't know what he said. He's moving his face too much.
And then the Kool-Aid man said, "Oh yeah."
And busted through his wall.
No, I'm trying to let people know what you're saying.
He's doing a service for the community.
Mean so movie Cheeto Borgs.
Definitely Cheeto Borgs.
Yes.
Yes.
Resistance is futile and cheesy.
Okay, so
And
that's
cheesers is, do you know? I don't know.
So Josh, what
doing
were you going to
good.
say about Minecraft?
Yes, let's go back.
Okay. So Wes brought up, like, what are we doing to build up skills during this, like, quarantine social distancing thing? Like, is there something that we've always wanted to do and now we have the time to do it, right?
Yep. Whether it's a creative avenue or like a recreational thing or something you want to do with your kids or just a positive use of the time that you now may or may not have in front of you.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Mike Boyd in the, like, day one, hour zero kind of thing, like, now is the time to, like, my kids jump on the trampoline and I see the trampoline as this unnecessary risk. And I've always wanted to do a backflip on a trampoline. Like, I should take this time to go do a backflip on a trampoline because I don't have anything else really to do.
And then Josh
I've
broke
already
his
solved
neck.
a Rubik's Cube. Exactly. And then you could say I died from COVID-19. Unrelated.
Yeah, really.
Kind of.
He's a casualty.
Tangentially.
Indirectly died from
Yep.
COVID.
But one thing was Nicole and Tori started, or no, George started a Minecraft server. And Wes, as Wes does, collected all the people from all the distant worlds, told them to get on Minecraft. And a lot of people, I won't say a lot of people, I scoffed at it. I'm like, what, like with the 8-year-olds? Like, I ain't got time for that. I'm a grown-up. I want to kill stuff. And I went on with the intention of just, like, stealing people's stuff and messing up their house.
Because
just as, like,
because your username was.
Josh breaks stuff.
But still, I didn't believe
we
that was
talked about
actually your
this.
name.
Yeah, we talked about this last episode. And so I got on sneaking around, trying to terrorize people. I stole Nicole's horse. She got upset. Shocker.
I got my horse back, George.
But then you kind of start to kind of get it. It's soothing.
Yeah.
Like, it has no bad guy, really. There's no, like, quest to go accomplish. You're just in this other weird little pixelated world. And I started making my own little house, and I'm like, oh, I put flowers on the house. I can grow some wheat, or I can go dig for, I don't know, whatever stuff that you end up needing. It's a really silly escape, but it's really, really calming. And I find myself going, like, it's late, I need to get off. And I'm like, oh yeah, I said that like an hour ago too. And in the game, you go to bed. I'm like, next time I have to go to bed in the game, I'm going to bed in real life. And I don't.
Yeah.
So thank you, George, for starting that. And
Yeah.
thank you, Wes. And thank you, Nicole. And thank you, everybody else who's been kind of helping along with this. I don't want to keep like using these pejorative terms like childish, whatever silly thing. Like, thank you for that escape, because I would not have tried it if I didn't have nothing to do. And
Yeah.
it's actually been kind of helpful.
Yeah, same for me. Like, I was very resistant to even playing it I mentioned this last week, just in general, just because when it came out, I had other video game related. I worked at a video game company, so I didn't really have time to play games recreationally. And that one seemed like, hey, if I'm just going to make something with that time, I might as well make something tangible or permanent, in real life, like a prop or a program, or like I wanted to be a 3D modeler or a level designer at the time for Epic or another game company. And so that was what I was like directing my energy towards. And then as the years progressed, it just looked and seemed more and more like, as Josh alluded, like a kid game. Like it's one that all the little kids jump on and they make pixelated versions of Yoshi and whatnot. Like, and even reinforce this fact, I had the shirt that Corey is actually wearing right now. I wore that to like Target, and some kid walked up to me, a little snotty-nosed kid, and he's like, "Oh, I love Minecraft too. I built that guy in Minecraft." And I'm just like, I want to punch you in the face right now because your parents are horrible people. And that, I wanted to, I didn't want anything to do with Minecraft for a long time because they just associated pixelated graphics with Minecraft and just all these other things. And so I really didn't have an interest. In a lot of people in my extended family and other, friends and stuff, they had children that had poorly curated management skills, like, of their children. So like the children would just like waste all their time, quote unquote waste, and not do schoolwork or something productive. Like, it's not specifically a Minecraft problem, but that ended up being the scapegoat, or like the equivalent of like Warcraft for like, or World of Warcraft for college students, right? Where they flunk out of college because or Halo or whatever the game is in that generation. So I just really didn't care to look at it. And I knew it did cool techie stuff, like you could build a computer with it, like all the famous examples of extreme things that people have made with it. And I just never had the interest to loop back around to it. And then George and Nicole suggested that we're going to play this. And I'm like, well, I got nothing else to do.
Well, I think I was joking that I was playing Minecraft one day, and George is like, well, I can make a server. I'm like, well, this is great.
And then actually it spun off, and I got my daughter to play it, and my wife and my son. I spun up a server locally because I'm a nerd and I like to do that sort of stuff. And I was like, how hard could this be? And it was not hard at all. And it was an excuse for us as a family to do something together that we had never done before. We never had like a quote unquote, it's basically like a little LAN party with the four of us. I scrounged together barely functional computers that would run it. Like, have different computers around the house, and some are different levels of technical prowess than others. Like Samantha has a netbook that shouldn't technically be able to run Minecraft, but it does, and a couple other machines that I could probably tweak and upgrade and get them running. But yeah, it's been great. Like, the kids have loved it, and Grant has never really used a keyboard besides like the little library time at school. He's in kindergarten, so I don't really expect that much out of that. But he was struggling a little bit with the WSAD. Like, it's all PC based Minecraft, so it's a little bit of a learning curve for those that aren't used to PC gaming with WSAD first person kind of controls. And he was struggling with it for about 10 minutes, and soon after that he was like leaping around on top of mountains and like jumping over like chasms, and it was pretty impressive. So it's been pretty awesome.
Yeah, so Minecraft has like a really big part in me and Terry's like life. We actually told each other we loved each other in Minecraft for the first time. Like, that is cool. We love Minecraft.
And what did you say about a certain song? I thought that was cool.
Yeah, our wedding, we danced at our wedding to one of the songs from Minecraft. Like,
that's fantastic.
So we love it.
How old is this server now? When did it start?
The server? Maybe a week or 2 weeks, maybe.
I think 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So not too terribly old. It's really fun to watch, like, everything that's being built on there. Every instance of Minecraft that I've ever played in just sort of takes a life of its own, and just, it's awesome. Like, everyone is a different experience where you're just like hanging out and doing random things with people that you may or may not know. Like, it's I don't know. I've really enjoyed all the time on there, like just hanging out with everybody.
Mm-hmm. I've spent way too much time with George this past week.
There's no such thing as too much George time.
Yeah, I know what that's like.
Wait a minute.
Well, I remember when we were at work, like when people were still working together. Anthony was like, "Hey, Nicole they're live streaming audio only their Minecraft server." I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
I've never live streamed on the clock. Never say that out loud. I'm kidding. It's fine. No one's watching this.
And we kind of spun around from what we were doing and watched you guys bounce all around, and you kind of gave us like a quick tour. I'm like, well, "This is kind of neat." And you're like, "And that's Wes's house over there." I'm like, "Wes is in there too?" I'm like, "Oh, well, this could be kind of fun." And so it's old enough to exist when people were still at work together, whenever that was.
In prior times.
Yeah.
In the olden days.
In the olden days.
Days of yore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is there any other things that besides Minecraft that it's maybe like a skill or a technique or something that you're thinking maybe using this time to tackle that maybe it doesn't require like a large investment of money or a shipment from Amazon that is going to take a week or a month and a half to get to you? Obviously that's going to be a limiting factor, but there's a lot of stuff like, has anybody ever tried origami? I know, or just random things, right? Like origami or programming Arduino if you have one, or learning Python to make a Minecraft sign perhaps that illuminates when people are on the server or something like that. Maybe I have thought
A
of that,
while
maybe not.
ago, I actually bought a bunch of like little LED light, like really tiny LED lights and some brass wire to try to teach myself how to solder, because I make Turi do all that stuff because I don't know how to do it. So I really want to do that over this next like time in isolation. Just try to figure out how to use the soldering iron and not feel like I'm gonna burn the house down.
We're spending a lot more time cooking just because we're getting whatever basic ingredients, and so I've been kind of like, what I was doing before this, I was making chocolate donuts that were delicious, I must say.
Wow.
And it's been quite fun to like learn new recipes and try and understand, like, baking is very much a science.
Oh yeah.
It is so specific. So I mean, that's been kind of fun.
I love cooking, and seeing a whole bunch of people posting like recipes and stuff online has made my heart happy.
Your stomach a little grumbly, but your heart happy.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna all come out of this so much bigger than we came into it.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I'm trying to primarily use the time to work on some projects that have been on the back burner for months. In fact, I have a video that'll be coming out either tomorrow or Saturday, along with 2 others hopefully in the next week or so. But then also getting back into Blender for some projects that I need to do for work, but also I want to do personally. And it's, I'm in front of the computer a lot more because I've been live streaming during the day for my students, and it feels weird being in front of the computer so much because I haven't done that in a really long time. So I'm having to force myself to balance with going outside and walking more than I ever have before. It's almost like completely flipping the lifestyle I had before, being constantly on my feet.
Have you noticed like a lot more people outside now than
taking walks, people I've never seen in the neighborhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
My neighborhood is lit, just lit.
It's crazy.
It's Pokemon Go 2.0.
Where you're just searching for other humans.
Yeah.
6 feet.
6 feet.
6 feet.
Yeah.
I think I was playing on the server with Wes the other day, and I was sitting by our window, and our window is so close to the sidewalk that every time someone walked by, it looked like someone was walking into my home. And it was like every 2 seconds there's somebody coming by. Too many people out.
We went on a walk today, and there were some people that we had never seen before, and they had this little tiny dog. And we both did, like, we were on the same sidewalk, like me and my 5 crew and the couple and their tiny dog, and we just like walked up, and we both just kind of stopped. And my daughter like went to go like run toward the dog. We're like, "Oh, well, hold on." He's like, "No, it's okay." And he had one of those like little like wind up leashes and just like unreeled his dog the appropriate amount of distance so that we could play with it. Oh.
And the dog was a carrier that day.
Now we're all dead.
Patient
No, you're all
zero.
young enough. You're really fine.
Oh man. No, I don't want to talk about the stupid
Nope.
virus. I'm going to talk about good things.
Positive stuff. What are you doing with the time?
I am tearing apart that motorcycle.
There you go.
I got a motorcycle for free.
It's looking good.
Mhm.
It looks like garbage, actually.
But you're making a lot of progress. That's what I mean.
I am taking things off. I'm trying to, like, I've forced myself to go, like, I'm not quite sure what this metal component is, but I'm going to take it out. It's rusty and gross. I'm going to take it apart, and I'm going to clean it up. And so that I will theoretically, eventually, have amassed enough cleaned, semi-functional, I don't know, parts to where it may turn on one day. And so today I took the carburetor apart, and it came with like a little baggie of like little tiny widget, little nubbin thingies. I don't know what they are. But I figured out this one is that one, so I just swapped them out and cleaned it up, got rid of a bunch of rust, and painted what I could paint, and now it looks like a thing. And I'm mechanically minded enough because of that ASVAB test we talked about earlier to like understand like these pieces should rub together without friction. This is where fuel comes in. This is where air comes in. But something I've never done before. And I think like all of us in this community are kind of tenacious enough to figure it out. And I would normally, if given the rest of the workload and, you know, how much stuff you have to do during a day, would just walk past it. And now, like, I mean, I'm still working down here in the basement for I like to make stuff. And then I get up and stretch my legs. I walk upstairs and I need to take a break. And I can look at that huge thing. I go, grab a piece. Because there's many pieces. If I grab a piece and tear it apart. So that's my goal.
It's a good goal.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what you do with that bike. That looks really awesome, and I've always wanted to do something like that. I've been into cars for a long time, but I've wanted like a project bike, if that's what you want to call it, for a long time. I don't even know that I would necessarily ride all that much, but I just love motorcycles. They're just so cool, and I
have no idea how to ride a motorcycle.
Right. I've been on one
George.
once and I fell and lost a bunch of skin, so I'm good. But they're super fun to work on. I've worked on a couple of them, and they were just really awesome.
Yeah, we're
I've had nothing
super
but
into cars, and
terrible-
we're super excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah, I have nothing but terrible role models when it comes to motorcycles. Like I was in the Army and everybody crashed it. Everybody looked like a mummy. A lady told my mom that I was going to die on a motorcycle one day. She was a card reader. So like there's lots of weird
I don't
things
believe
stacked up against. And I don't believe it. But by all logic, there's no reason I should ride a motorcycle. But I've always wanted to. And so somebody offered to me for free. I'm like, you know what? This is happening.
Well,
And so every day I got to go keep making it happen.
Speaking from experience, when you get on it to drive it for the first time, make sure there's plenty of room in front of you, and don't start about 10 feet from behind the car, a parked car, because you might run into it. Speaking from experience.
Something tells me Seth's run into a car before.
A parked
I
car.
have
I
had
barely
experience.
avoided it.
They're really fun though. When I was like 18, I went to the local Harley Davidson dealership, and they had a class that you could take. And that was the only way that my parents would let me get a motorcycle, was if I took the class. It's like a safety class.
Yeah.
So that like they teach you how, and it was it was so much fun. And you know, hopefully I'll get on a bike again, and so I'm going to knock on wood, but I never fell. I never got a ticket. I never, I was a responsible rider. I didn't ride in the rain. So I'll be a positive role model for you. They're
There you
fun
go.
and they're safe, and you should do it.
There is I think it's called the Barbecue Bikes and Blues Festival in town. If we all can come together eventually one day, if we're all allowed to be near each other again, the town puts on a thing all downtown, and I should really figure out when this is supposed to happen. But like that was my goal, was to ride my bike into that thing. and so I have a lot ahead of me.
That
I
sounds
believe
like
in
the
you.
most Kentucky thing I've ever heard in my life.
That also.
There's probably a bourbon. There's probably another beer in there.
Right? Yeah.
Beer, bourbon, and barbecue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Donovan is trying so hard to get that microphone to work.
He
He's
is.
so
So far, he's
determined.
tried using the video chat like you guys are doing. He's tried calling with his phone. He can actually call a number, and I assume their switchboard, quote unquote, is probably overloaded with all the people trying to live stream right now. But in a typical sense, he could have maybe called into the show. There's a phone number that apparently this app gives you, and it was busy. He's tried Skyping me, and I can pipe in the audio into my OBS system. It's not picking him up there, and he's trying Discord now, and I think that's also not working. So it's not for lack of trying, I think.
Have you tried turning it off and back on?
He hasn't tried rebooting his computer. Maybe he should try that. I don't know.
If that's what actually does it, that'd be so annoying.
Well, if maybe he should update his graphic card driver, because that randomly solved the problem for me in Minecraft yesterday. I guess it was yesterday. I was playing. I tried to log into the server and just there was nothing. There was no terrain loaded at all, and then I would after probably 25 seconds I would time out, and I couldn't get it to do anything. I did a fresh install. I did all different sorts of things. And then eventually I was able to load terrain, but I couldn't interact with any blocks. I'd be just sitting there trying to pickaxe a bunch of blocks and nothing would happen. Or they would go away, but it wouldn't drop anything. All this craziness. It felt like I fought with it for 10 hours. And then Wes just said, hey, update your graphics card driver, maybe to try something different. I don't know. And I did that and it worked. I don't understand because
It had been working.
It had been working. It's a super old for technology. It's super old graphics card at this point, and the driver I think was dated 2017, sometime in 2017. It's I should probably update that anyways. Updated it to the newest version from 2018, and it totally worked. But I have no idea.
Can't win them all, man.
I have a question for Nicole.
Yeah.
Did you guys decide on a resin printer yet? I know you guys were talking about it.
We actually got a long-term loaner from one of Turi's coworkers. He claimed for the longest time that he had an Elgu. We're like, yeah, we'll love to borrow it. We'd love to just try it out. And we get it to the house, and it's a Chinese knockoff called Longer. Well, a Chinese knockoff of already a Chinese knockoff of a printer. But regardless, it works, and it's working really well. So yeah, we have a resin printer that we didn't have to pay for, and just is in my house now. So
Score.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with the YouTube channel Physics Anonymous?
No.
So it's these two guys in a garage basically, and the name of the channel is Physics Anonymous, but they do a bunch of different machining and prototyping videos and stuff. They restored a lathe. They have a mini mill that's manual. They just converted a different mini mill to CNC. Anyways, one of the things that they prototyped was for the any cubic photon, a different a bracket made of aluminum that is normally made of plastic or something like that to increase its rigidity or something like that. Anyways, their most recent video is about that printer, the Longer, and it was a pretty cool little breakdown of about it and what they like about it and what they don't like about it. And it's a really cool YouTube channel in general. They have a great editing style. I like them a lot.
The funny thing about the Longer is that you know how all resin printers come with that dome over it?
Right.
Well, the Longer comes with 5 acrylic pieces that you could see all the finger joints for, and it's held together with a rubber band. And I'm just laughing at this. I'm like, what is this? This is ridiculous. I could have made this.
Yeah.
But
it's
hey, It was
They
free.
wanted it the flat pack, so they like just sent you
Yeah.
the 5 different sides.
It's our first try at a resin printer, and we didn't have to pay anything for it, and our friends letting us borrow it as long as we want to. So
That's
Wow.
great.
and like we have all of our D&D minis on that wall over there, so now we're gonna try to make a bunch of like actual like resin ones that are really nice.
Awesome. I have almost bought a resin printer for exactly that recently.
Yeah, we had the mini V2 from Monoprice for the longest time, and that thing just cranked out minis, and it was a perfect little machine. And then we got a CR10, and it's just replaced the mini completely.
Yeah, I love that little mini.
It's so good. It worked all the time.
For $200, there was nothing better than that printer.
And for what we were
So
doing,
great.
which was all D&D minis, it was perfect.
Yeah, I asked because I went over to Bob's the other day, and he set out a hard drive like outside in a quarantine box, and I had forgotten before I left that I was printing this like mecha T-Rex skull.
Nice, yeah.
And I didn't get to do the bottom because the printers are at his house.
That's the Terminator T-Rex, right?
Yeah, the Terminator T-Rex.
Yep. I've been wanting to
But
make that one for
we're
a long
doing
time.
a comparison between the Prusa SL1 and the Elegoo Mars, and it's amazing what you can get out of resin printing now. These are my teeth.
Yeah, those are wild. I love that. Yeah,
but I
so
know
far
you
we're
were,
pretty
you were
happy for
talking
it.
about it. I didn't know
Yep.
if you had landed on one. But cool.
Not
I'm glad you
one
have.
that we haven't planned to purchase yet, but I think when we do, we're probably going to go with an Elegoo because the Prusa is just, it's still too expensive.
The cleaning, yes. So I
Cleaning
think
station.
the cleaning station is what's up, hands down.
Really?
Because we had to make our own cleaning station for the Piapoli Moai, and it's you got to get like the ultrasonic cleaner, and I know you guys have like the nail curing like UV kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have some stuff that you may not need it, but that thing is the bee's knees. You push 2 buttons, and it's like push to wash, you push to cure. It is awesome. We have it sitting in between the 2 printers, and it would be the resin printing would be a dirty, sloppy, gross mess, but that one machine takes care of all of
Yeah,
that.
but how does this benefit you at all when you can just have a Tupperware full of isopropyl, spin it around, and then just put it in another container? Like, because you have to touch it? You just don't want to touch it?
It works as a system, and yes,
Yeah.
So you can do that, no debating that. But when you have the Prusa, it has the build plate. You take the build plate and it slides onto a lid, and you stick it down in the thing, and it has a spinning, like agitating, like magnetic
spinner.
Yeah, I'm looking at that
turbine in the
now.
bottom. And then you just take it out of the thing, you put it right back down on it. It cures it. It has a heated fan. It rotates it around. It's pretty great.
Yeah, I won't
We
deny it. This
didn't
looks really
have that.
cool.
I think
Yeah.
Anycubic just released something like that too.
I was looking at an Anycubic one, but then I was just like, I can go to the container store for $6 and get 2 containers and then call it a day.
Yeah.
Like,
The
I'm really
ultrasonic
cheap.
cleaner compared to, because we had a tub with just isopropyl alcohol versus an ultrasonic cleaner, like there is a pretty substantial difference. Being able to get off all that excess resin. I was kind of surprised. Not that one in particular, but like an ultrasonic cleaner in some fashion really does get a lot of that stuff off.
I'm still surprised at how many layer lines I get though on a resin printer. Like that's something
We
that's.
don't have it set up right.
Is it? We just don't have it set up right. Thanks, Turi, for your 2 cents.
I'm the one printing it. I don't know what you're talking about.
A glimpse
This is
inside.
marriage, folks.
Yeah.
This is marriage.
Sean, I wanted to ask if you saw that NASCAR is poised to host the largest esports event in history.
Really?
Yeah.
See that?
Because they're gonna do a race.
Oh, is that where like the gamers are playing or competing against the actual NASCAR drivers?
No, I think it's just the drivers are gonna race like each other. Yeah.
No, I mean, they've done exhibitions in the past where they take gamers and put them against actual NASCAR drivers. And see that. So I
Well,
wasn't
I'm
sure.
pretty sure the drivers actually do train in simulators too, just to like give it a go.
They do.
Yeah.
In the iRacing simulators, which are absolutely intense. If you ever get the opportunity to sit in one of those with the force feedback wheel, and I've even sat in one with the pneumatically controlled like seat that'll actually move you around. There's a company in town that has like 2 or 3 different levels of those seats, and they will bring them out to car events and like just show them off. It's incredible, and they usually bring like a professional driver out with them, and he'll like put down a lap time, and then you can get in and like try to beat his lap time, and you're nowhere ever close because it's like actually driving a real race car, and we're a bunch of plebeians off the street. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun, but it's a workout. I mean, you get off the thing having, put in a little sweat equity to those things.
What is that system called that you're talking about? The
iRacing.
Okay.
Is the name of the game, I guess, that it uses. I think a couple different people make different products for the actual simulator, but
all right, sounds cool.
Yeah.
So anything else that anybody's doing differently with this time, since whether it's a shelter in place or just social distancing or anything else, or something that you want to get into that you haven't even started yet?
Come on, get inspired here. There's something.
I mean, I've wanted to learn Fusion 360 for a long time now.
Oh yeah, same. I should probably get on that.
I tried probably 2 years ago or something like that. And when I was in high school, I took drafting classes, like actual pencil on paper drafting classes. And then for my first 3 years, freshman, sophomore, and junior year, I took a basics, an engineering, and an architectural drawing class. And then the fourth year, my senior year, was supposed to be the AutoCAD class. And then there was like not enough interest, or like only 4 people had like gotten to that point, and school couldn't make the schedules line up, so they just dropped the class altogether, and I couldn't do it. But I have minimal exposure to Autodesk's AutoCAD programming. So I've used that, and I was fairly familiar with that. And I get into Fusion, and I don't know how to describe my frustration, but I guess I'm just it's going from one system to another, pressing buttons that I think are going to do something don't actually do that thing, and then I get frustrated and I just quit. So
Okay.
I've tried, but
here and now, Nicole, in exchange for a D&D hand walking game for the I Like to Make Stuff crew, I will offer everybody in this chat right now, say, I don't know, we'll talk after we're done recording. I will do a live Fusion 360 hangout.
I would take that as very fair payment.
I'm in for it. Okay. I'll do what I can to help with the D&D too.
Yeah, it's
I'm in for the D&D. You lost that Fusion.
Yeah, that will be good.
Okay, so as what we're geeking out about, I say everybody around the horn, what's the favorite thing that you've watched on Netflix in your isolation period?
Every
your streaming service of choice. What? I'm sorry, what?
Westworld just came out. Done.
You gotta have HBO. I've wanted to watch that.
It's good. It's good.
Okay.
Don't watch it with your kids. There's a lot of naked people.
Neato.
Violent nudity.
I haven't been watching too much, but my wife started watching when I was playing Minecraft, so then I started watching with her. Is that what's it? Tiger King thing that's on Netflix, which I wanted to ask Donovan about because the guy was running for governor of Oklahoma. Like I think it was 2017. I didn't know when Donovan moved there, but I was like, man, it's just a crazy show. I don't know how many of you guys started watching it, but this guy, very eccentric. I'll put it at that.
All my coworkers are talking about it.
Yeah.
We've been watching the Great British Bake Off, and
with old Greg.
Yeah, And so I know Noel Felding from the Big Fat Quiz of Everything, which is a hilarious show. And my
So
wife
good.
turned on the Great British Bake Off, and I was like, "Wait, what is he doing here?" Really confused, and just started watching it. And it is so refreshing. It's like such a change of pace of like American reality cooked whatever. Like it's delightful to watch.
It really is.
It's so
So
relaxing.
Yeah, and like the contestants were like helping each other. Like one of them was like struggling at the end, and the other was like, "What do you need me to do?" Looking at her instructions, just like helping and being friendly, not like sitting over there like they're gonna fail. Like, no.
Spitting in their dough or something.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need any of that.
If you watch backward, that guy Noel and the lady that's with him, they start like halfway through the series. So like seasons 1 through I think 3 or 4. There's these two ladies
They're
that
awful.
do it, and it's so weird. We watched in reverse, and when you get to that point, you're like, "Who are these two ladies? Like, you guys are not funny. Please go
They're
away."
so
Want
bad.
the other people. Yeah.
Let's see. I've been watching Picard. I still have one episode left, so don't spoil it for me if you've seen it. But that's pretty much the only thing I've been watching during this season. I guess I was watching a lot of CW stuff, but kind of dropped all that this season, this TV season, and I haven't really watched much else.
I started rewatching The Flash on Netflix, but mainly because I was introducing it to my kids. And funny enough, my daughter got really into it. We finished the first season. At the end of the first season, she was like, "What?" And what's funny is I went up to her room a day or two ago, just kind of like, check in on her. And she has a paper taped to her wall that says, "Is Harrison Wells still alive?"
Oh my gosh.
And she's 8, so kind of funny hearing her get into it and start questioning it and just trying to rationalize through all that stuff. So it's been really fun watching it with the kids.
That's cool.
Who else? Who hasn't got any? Corey?
So I finished it like the first day of isolation, so you can be the judge of whether it counts or not. But if you have not seen the Chef Show on Netflix, it's phenomenal. For anybody not familiar, it's Jon Favreau.
Fantastic.
He made a movie called Chef a couple years ago, 2014, I think, or something like that, in which he consulted with a chef, Roy Choi of Kogi Food Truck, and who taught him basically how to cook for the movie. And so this show, they had so much fun doing that, like with the consulting and teaching and everything like that, that they made. It's kind of like a normal Food Network stand and stir show, like you would see, except it's these two guys who are really quality entertainers, and they bring in all these people. And specifically, I think it's the first episode of the most recent season. They are with Wolfgang Puck in one of his restaurants in Las Vegas, and it's phenomenal. It's excellent show.
Cool. Seth?
Oh, I have the Tiger King.
Oh yeah.
I've got a question though, because I thought of it while you're going. Who do you think among here has the most streams of Frozen 2 so far?
0.
Ooh.
Never seen it.
No. 0.
George,
4?
why have you seen it so many times? You don't have children.
Donovan 7. Yeah, we're probably pretty close right there, Donovan.
We really like the Frozen series, and
George, I really
I'm
don't
not
like
afraid
that.
to admit that.
I think the first one was better than the second one.
I agree.
I agree.
But I'm not against Frozen either.
We may or may not be known to like just bust out and
Sing along.
sing along while we're cooking in the kitchen, just hanging out. It's,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I sing it with my 4-year-old, and it is the most adorable thing when she
With
tries
your
to sing me a song.
4-year-old.
Yeah.
See how
I
that's
will
different.
dance. We will dance and we will sing. It is a magical time that she and I have together.
Dude, the honest
wonderful.
trailer reviews of Frozen 1 and Frozen 2, excellent. I recommend people checking those out on YouTube. If they like pick apart all the minutia and also how it should have ended, they have those for Frozen series as well.
Yeah.
They're absolutely hysterical, and they just like super do a deep dive into the nerdy, like, well, you introduced this concept, how come you couldn't use this? And they just go off the deep end. And I think sometimes they write their own songs as like parodies of them, and they're super well done. If some reason someone's never seen any of that stuff, I highly recommend a deep dive into those two channels. If there's such a person that does not know about them, which I don't believe is possible.
We actually had a really interesting discussion in the car the other day about who do you think is the main character of the Frozen saga?
Olaf. I don't know.
The credits.
I'm going to ask my daughter that question because I have an answer.
Who is the lead character of the saga? I don't know, Daddy.
And the follow-up question is, who's your favorite character? Right? Which
I got one.
Yeah, go for it.
I would say Samantha from Frozen 2.
Yeah.
And then my daughter's name is Samantha, so if you haven't seen the movie, there's a reference to that, and she freaked the H out, and the F out, and the S out. I mean, she just freaked out when that happened multiple times because they basically they did like a name, like a shout out to her, and she was like, oh, he's talking to me. Oh my gosh. And then it happened again, like several, and then she wore, because basically in the movie, Olaf is looking for all the characters. Olaf, or he's like, Anna, Elsa, Sven, Samantha. And he's like, wait, I don't know who's Samantha. What? Have you seen Samantha? And then like he brings it up later on. So when we went to Disney World, she had a shirt that I bought on Etsy, got it for Christmas, and it had the same lines. It said like, Sven, Elsa, Anna, and it said Samantha at the bottom with a question mark. And she got so many like comments from cast members and other people walking by. She thought she was hot stuff. It was pretty sweet. It was awesome. But besides that, I would say Sven is my favorite character.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Donovan, what have you been watching? I'm going to try to get it. Okay. I'm holding on.
Oh, he just teleported
He
away.
disappeared.
His internet is a little bit laggy as well, so this should be interesting.
Maybe it's a show The Invisible Man.
Oh.
There it is. Nailed it.
He's back.
Oh, he's holding
He's
something
holding up something blurry.
Star Wars, maybe?
1918 or
1917.
19.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay.
Fantastic
That was
movie.
a very good movie.
Good choice.
Very good.
It's very, very excellent.
I still haven't seen it.
Because I saw it in space. I think that's what it is.
He saw
That's
it in
close
space.
Wow.
It's like pro level charades when your camera keeps messing up.
Mm-hmm. My wife and I watched Jojo Rabbit. Have you guys seen it?
No, but I super want to.
It's pretty great.
Okay.
So, like, at face value, it's like a little kid in the Hitler Youth, and he has an imaginary friend who is Adolf Hitler. But it's hilarious, and the whole movie is really good. People are learning, people are growing. It's funny. It's Tika
Waititi.
Tika Waititi.
TD.
Whatever.
Mhm.
The director of
Thor Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Taika.
Such a good movie. You should go watch it because it's great. It's a roller coaster of emotions. It's funny. It hits you in the feels. It makes you feel good about life.
Was it on
That's why
Netflix?
it's good. No, we rented it
Okay.
on Amazon Prime. I think it was $5 or $6.
Worth it.
Yep.
I'd buy it. I'd rent it or whatever.
Yeah, it's good.
Why do you ask, Josh? No reason?
Huh?
Oh, no reason. Nothing. I thought there was a lead into this question for some reason.
No, that was what
Yeah.
everybody was watching during isolation.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that was it. And in lieu of geeking out, because I imagine that we could go on for hours about things that we're geeking out about.
Absolutely.
So I think it's about that time.
I agree.
And that time meaning that it's time for us to talk about the website and how you can get a hold of all of us. Through the website, there's a contact page there where you could email us about the show and give any suggestions that you have. And on the homepage of the site, you could listen to all of our past episodes in the browser there on makinggeeks.com.
And all of us are on social media. You can find our channels.
Keep,
That was me.
keep going, George. You're filling in for Donovan. Yep.
All of us can be found on social media. Donovan over at Once Upon a Workbench. Wes
Yeah.
over on
Yeah.
Geek smithing.
Geeks Smithing.
You live next to him.
Sean over on Geek Geek
Geek
Builders.
builders.
Sorry.
This is again par for the course.
Josh on his own channel of
Josh _make stuff.
Make Stuff, and his work with Bob I Like to Make Stuff. And I think that
Good job. Good job, Donovan Standon. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our patrons over at patreon.com who, I mean, a lot of you guys are actually here in this chat, which is super awesome. Thank you guys so much for your support. We really appreciate it. Including our top patron, who is actually not here. He's probably working very hard. Square Splinter, thank you for your patronage, sir. We appreciate it.
I would like to thank all you guys right here that, you know, in the live chat. We can see your faces and we can actually say your names and say thank you for hanging out with us. I know we have a lot of regulars during the live chat. It's on YouTube. This is a little different. Man, I don't really look at the comments on YouTube, so it was kind of cool to have this nice, big, social distance, long form conversation. We really appreciate it. And for everybody else who wasn't here, Nana Boo Boo, you missed out. We may do this again depending on how long we're all quarantined.
I think we should. I think
you
it's
can
fun.
listen to this. Yeah, this was a good time. You can listen to this episode every Saturday on your podcast player of choice. And from all of us, from all over the place, we all collectively hope you all have a fantastic week.
See you guys.
Have a great week. Stay safe.
Yay.
Dami says, bye. Horsey, I will... I don't know. Monkey. I think he said monkey in there.
What? That's weird.
I'm good at translating Donovan.
You're very good at it.